Being stuck at home with the pandemic changing much of our lives, chances are that you've eaten out of stress at one point or another. In the long run, this can lead to serious issues. And founder of Functional Medicine Charlotte, Dr. John Bartemus, is here to discuss. Nice to have you, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
So what are some tips for handling this stress eating during the pandemic?
Well, to understand the impact of stress eating, I think it's important for the viewers to understand the impact of stress. And so our bodies go into the stress response when faced with any perceived threat. And the key there is the word perceived. Whether or not that threat is realistic or not, our physiology responds with the stress response, and that's one of three options. You could fight, you could flight, which would be run away, or you could freeze. And in regards to COVID, on a nationwide level, we chose the freeze response via the lockdown. And so if you're locked down in your home and you're in fear of a virus, then you may look for something to comfort yourself, right? And to ease that fear. And when you're locked in your home, the kitchen isn't far away. And as Americans, we often go to comfort foods, which tend to be sugar-filled foods and baked goods. And so if we do that for 10 months straight, then we may induce high blood sugar, we may gain weight, we may increase blood pressure because of the gained weight and the lack of physical activity, and that can lead to increased risk of severe outcome from COVID. So some tips to help us prevent that would be, one, to have a plan. And if you have a plan for what you're going to do for your day, then you're less likely to be bored, which I don't know about you, but when I'm bored, I've noticed that I go to the cupboard more often. So if we can prevent boredom at home, we can prevent overeating, particularly of comfort foods, and prevent some of those poor outcomes. So have a plan, whether that's, hey, I'm going to sit down and write the book I've always wanted to write, or I'm going to take the kids to this playground, or go out on the greenway, whatever that is, have a plan. Number two, I would recommend getting physical activity. Being locked down in your home, no matter how cool your home is, gets old after a short period. So getting outside, getting in the sun, getting vitamin D and oxygen, and being with people that you enjoy will help raise the spirits and help battle some of the mental difficulty of being locked down. And then lastly, when you are going to eat, I recommend eating the rainbow. And what that means is eating a broad and diverse color variety of vegetables. So your green broccolis, your purple eggplants, your orange peppers, your yellow squashes. And that's important because each of those different colors provides different nutrients. They're all full of fiber, and those things feed your gut bugs, your probiotics, which your probiotics help you maintain a healthy body composition. They provide nutrients for you, and they promote an anti-inflammatory immune response. So those are some simple tips that you can implement right away to help battle the stress eating.
Well, and eating more of those good foods is really the key to losing weight, and that's something that we can learn in your book, of course. So you talk about functional medicine too being the key to healing autoimmune disease that could stem from a lot of these bad habits that we pick up. Briefly, tell us why functional medicine is the solution for that.
Sure. Functional medicine is the solution for chronic disease because chronic diseases are multifactorial. And so conventional medicine is wonderful for acute care, but when it's a multifactorial cause, which involves, say, lifestyle, diet, physical inactivity, stress levels, there's not one pharmaceutical that can take care of all those factors. So functional medicine shines in chronic disease because it zooms out, and it's a paradigm that is assessing all of those factors in the patient's life and addressing them typically in a non-pharmaceutical way. Pharmaceuticals can be involved when necessary, but the real results are going to come from changing the nutrition, changing the physical activity habits, the sleep patterns, the stress levels, and then using nutrients in the form of supplements when necessary to get specific results along a specific pathway.
And I think it's important to remind ourselves that we don't get results overnight. We have to stick with these changes, and it's a result of doing it over the long term that will lead to positive changes. Dr. Bartemus, pleasure to speak with you. Thank you. And right now, Dr. John Bartemus is offering free copies of his book. So the first 5 viewers who visit functionalmedicinecharlotte.com and click on the Contact Us tab and then enter Free Book Tucson with their address will get a book. It's as easy as that.